Episode 9. To all of you who found this recording, I want to share something genuinely important. Today, we'll unpack through neuroscience how meditation and breathing influence brain function and how that translates into performance. What I'm going to share with you is extremely simple, but it's also essential. Just 6 minutes, and the way your brain is being used can change. When I say change, I don't mean you become a different person by magic. I mean 3 things can shift, reliably, even within the same 6 minutes. Your attention, your bodily state, and the quality of your decisions. Hello. This is Dr. Yoshi, and welcome back to Rewire Lab. And those of you new, thank you for being here. If you're listening while driving, walking, scrolling, or doing something else, that's completely fine. Stay exactly as you are. Just add one small element. Inhale slowly through the nose. Hold it, just for a moment. And then exhale as if you're gently fogging a mirror. Soft, long. You don't have to drop your shoulders completely. Just release, maybe 5%. Rewire Lab is a place to observe how nerves react, how thoughts travel, and how emotions, decisions, and actions connect as brain wiring. This is not a place to fix yourself, not a place to force motivation, not a place to reinvent your personality. Why meditation can rewire the brain. Let's start with a premise. The brain does not like change. More precisely, the brain prefers to keep using existing circuits because that's efficient. It's like a hiker walking the same mountain trail every day. The more you walk it, the harder the path becomes. The grass gets pressed down, and eventually, it feels like the normal route. But if you want a new route, you step onto the untouched terrain, one step at a time. That is neuroplasticity. So, if it feels uncomfortable, that's fine. It's not a malfunction. It's often the sign that learning has begun. Consciousness has 2 modes. Here's the key concept. One framework introduced by Stanford neuroscientist Professor Andrew Huberman is the idea of moving attention between attention toward internal sensation and attention toward external stimuli. In technical terms, interoception, attention to internal signals, and exteroception, attention to the external world. But let's keep it intuitive. Imagine a single line. The left end is inner focus, the right end is outer focus. Every day, you live somewhere on that line. Some people spend most of their time inward. Others live almost entirely outward. Meditation, in this view, is not being quiet. It's checking where you are on that line and intentionally moving toward the opposite side. Inner focused type, if you lean too far inward, you're highly sensitive to internal signals, emotion, health cues, and the constant voice in the head. But when it goes too far, you may notice changes in heart rate, intensifying, interpret small sensations as danger, amplify anxiety, and start worrying about a future that hasn't happened. Then, action stops. Outer focused type If you lean too far outward, you prioritize environment, evaluation, tasks. That can help you push through bodily discomfort and keep you going. But when it goes too far, you stop noticing your emotional state, ignore fatigue and stress, and one day you may crash. The center, peak performance. Peak performance happens near the center, awake without being overdriven, relaxed without being dull. In brain network language, switching between networks related to self-referential processing, attention control, and spatial cognition becomes smooth. So how do you locate your current position? That's the next step. Meditation is movement. Meditation isn't simply being still. It's training the ability to move the position of attention. You identify your bias, inner or outer, and deliberately shift the other way. That movement is what helps new brain circuits form. So discomfort isn't strange. It's the sensation of walking off the paved road. 3-minute self-check. If possible, sit or lie down comfortably. Close your eyes. Try focusing inward. For the next 3 minutes, count your breaths. 1 full inhale and exhale counts as 1. If you can stay with it, you're currently more inner focused. If ambient sounds or external signals pull you away, you're currently more outer focused. This isn't good or bad. It's just a measurement. And once you have the measurement, you're already halfway there. Pause the audio and try it out. Interoceptive versus exteroceptive. Don't overload it. Now, let's describe the 2 basic styles briefly. A universal rule: don't overload the system. We have a belief that the brain is great at handling multitasks, but attention is limited. The more elements you introduce at once, the more easily focus collapses. Interoceptive meditation. Eyes closed plus structured breathing. Let's begin inner focus meditation. For inner focused work, close your eyes. Visual input is heavy for the brain. Then alter the breath intentionally. For example, inhale for 4, hold for 4, exhale for 4, hold for 4. Box breathing. The key is deciding who you want to be after you practice. Calmer, then longer exhales. Sharper, then longer inhales. Exteroceptive meditation. Eyes open plus 1-point gaze. For outer focused work, do the opposite. Keep the breath easy. Eyes open. Pick 1 point, 12 feet away or the horizon outside, and simply look for 3 minutes. Thoughts will drift. Each time they do, return your gaze. Returning is the training. The integrated 6-minute practice. Space-time bridging. Now, the integrated method. No need to separate inner and outer practices. This aligns with what Huberman describes as space-time bridging, expanding attention from inside the body to the external world and further out to distance. Let's begin. Please don't do this while driving. Step 1. Inward. Close your eyes. Bring attention behind the forehead, a sense of the brain's center. It's okay if you feel nothing. Inhale slowly through the nose, hold a moment, and exhale slowly. Repeat 3 times. Step 2. Palm. Open your eyes. Raise your palm in front of you. Observe and focus on the fine lines. Inhale slowly through the nose. Hold a moment. And exhale slowly. 3 times. Step 3. 3 meters. Now shift to a point about 12 feet away. Breath is natural. Inhale slowly through the nose. Hold a moment. And exhale slowly. 3 times. Step 4. Horizon. Now further out. Outside the window, the horizon, the sky. Let the field of view widen. Peripheral vision. Inhale slowly through the nose. Hold a moment. And exhale slowly. 3 times. Step 5. Scale expansion. Sense yourself as a being on earth. Small, yet undeniably here. Inhale slowly through the nose. Hold a moment. And exhale slowly. 3 times. Step 6. Back inward. Close your eyes again, behind the forehead. Inhale slowly through the nose. Hold a moment. And exhale slowly. Repeat 3 times. That's 1 cycle. Now, pause the audio and try it out. It's just 6 minutes. Why this works. Why does this help? Because you're moving attention through a sequence. Inward, outward, expanded, reintegrated. That sequence is effectively a network switch. Self-referential processing, attention control, spatial cognition, then integration. And breathing is one of the few manual inputs into the autonomic nervous system. There are controlled studies suggesting short daily breathwork can shift mood and physiological arousal. What changes with continuity? Now, what happens if you keep doing this? Let's be realistic. This isn't about creating a superior brain in 6 minutes. It's about shifting how your brain operates. Daily 6 minutes tends to improve how quickly you return attention, how smoothly you switch states, and, as a consequence, sleep quality, emotional regulation, and focus often begin to normalize. Because what you're training is not calm. You're training the ability to shift your state and attention on command. When people hear simple, scientific, effective, they often raise an eyebrow. Isn't that too convenient? It's not magic. It's brain circuit design. A nervous system is a device that changes in response to input. Breathing, the lever between conscious and unconscious. Breathing is a rare lever between conscious and autonomic control. More inhale bias tends to raise arousal. Longer exhales tend to support vagal engagement and reduce threat reactivity. This is physiology, not vibes. Breath is a key that enters through the back door of emotion. Meditation, reducing reflexive threat to increasing choice. Under chronic stress, the threat system becomes hypersensitive, like a smoke alarm that goes off too easily. Meditation can recalibrate that sensitivity. It trains a shift from stimulus equals danger to stimulus equals object of observation. That is emotional relearning. Attention control, prefrontal function, and the conductor. And attention control is training the conductor, your prefrontal systems. If that conductor is weak, impulses win. If it's strong, intention wins. Meditation is strength training for the conductor. Why modern life makes us scattered. So why are so many people distracted now? Because modern life constantly pulls attention outward. Notifications, scrolling, short stimuli, comparison. It locks us into outer focus. Attention is like a muscle. It grows in the direction you use it. When you only look outward, inner sensing dulls. You lose clarity about what you feel, what you want, and where you're going. Then life becomes reaction. Meditation's essence is not silence. It's returning from reaction to choice. It's building a stable axis between inner and outer. That's applied neuroplasticity. Fudoushin. Let's deepen this idea from Bushido. Fudoushin, the immovable mind. In neuroscience terms, Fudoushin is not the absence of activation. It is the decoupling of arousal from choice. Arousal is the body's alarm bell. Choice is the hand on the steering wheel. Most brains fuse them. The bell rings and the wheel jerks automatically. Fudoushin is when the bell rings, yet the hands remain steady. When the nervous system activates, signals surge through the amygdala. Heart rate rises, attention narrows. The body prepares for speed. This is arousal. But choice lives elsewhere. In networks involving the prefrontal cortex, the circuitry that allows pause, evaluation, and direction. Training Fudoushin means building a bridge so activation does not shut down access to that network. Not suppressing the storm, but keeping the lighthouse lit inside it. So the real skill is not calming first, then choosing. The skill is remaining able to choose while activated. Fear can exist. Uncertainty can exist. Adrenaline can surge. And still, a tiny gap remains between signal and response. Inside that gap, the brain remembers, I still have options. The 6-minute practice you did is a neural rehearsal of this separation. Each time attention wandered and you gently returned, you trained the system to experience activation without automatic reaction, movement without loss of center. Like strengthening a stabilizer muscle, too small to see, yet responsible for balance in every motion. The first resistance is normal. In the first few days, you may experience more intrusive thoughts. That's not failure. It's the sign the brain has begun to reconfigure. The old road is loosening. The new road is forming. So you feel a wobble. That wobble is part of learning. Your brain is far more capable than you think, but it does not awaken on its own. Only intentional practice opens the door. 6 minutes a day, that's enough. 30 days from now, you may look back and think, why didn't I start earlier? Your revolution of consciousness starts right now. So let's close the way we began, with breath. One final round. Inhale deeply through your nose. Hold it gently, and exhale long, like you're fogging a mirror. Thank you for practicing with me today. You didn't just listen to ideas. You gave your nervous system new data. That alone is enough. This was Dr. Yoshi. Until next time, rewire the brain, change your life.